What's good, gang? 5 Canon events that we've all lived because most of our lives are the same. These are unskippable events. If you haven't experienced these, then come on, man. Number one, fumbling your first baddie. I know we can all relate to this one because this one is like a knife stab to the chest. And it's always when you least expect it. You're there chilling, doing whatever, and then the baddest person will just come into your life. It's never you find them, they find you, whether they slide up on your socials or you meet them in person. When I tell you, if it's your first time, you've never been in this position before, you never played at this level, you don't have the composure yet. You've never handled this caliber. So obviously a lot of us, we tend to either pedestalize or, we tie our worth to how attractive we view that person. We always say, why me? Why did they choose me? But at the end of the day, they saw that value in you, or we're desperate because let's be honest, we've never pulled someone this attractive. So always, constantly double messaging them, being desperate. We're just making it clear that I need to get you. Do you know what it should be? It's not I need to get you, it's do we see the value in each other? Because in a relationship, it should be mutual value that you see in each other. Do you both respect each other? And a lot of us, we get ahead of ourselves. But the painful thing is, even though you fumble and sometimes it might keep you up at night, you can do it again. Just because it's happened once doesn't mean it can't happen the second time. But the main important thing is that your value is not dependent on how you view others or how they're treating you. It's ultimately how you view yourself, and that is why they came in the first place. So in terms of when it comes to your second or your third baddie, when they come into life, composure, man. You've been here before. That's all I'd say. Don't get carried away. I mean, I've been there before, and bro, it hurts. But you get over it. You'll be better, and hopefully when the next one comes, you just realize that they're normal people too. They are more attractive, but trust me, they're not anything different. They still bleed, they still eat, they still sleep, all of that. You just have to treat them as normal people. Have self-respect for yourself and have things going on for you, because that is why they were attracted to you. Number two, heartbreak. Heartbreak is unwelcome, but it is necessary development, because whenever you put your all in a relationship, you've invested your time, your energy, your effort, and also your emotional input into someone who doesn't, reciprocate your interest. And when they break your heart, it hurts. It hurts. Because that is physical pain, but the emotional pain always lasts a lot longer, especially when you truly open your heart. Because in order to be in a relationship, it requires you to communicate with that person, to put your trust, to be vulnerable with that person. And especially when they just tear your heart into a million pieces, it hurts. It hurts. We've all had that. And I genuinely believe the younger you have your heartbreak, the better, because you can't afford to be in your 20s, 30s, 40s. You're more likely to crash out. You're a lot more emotionally attached because you know what you want. But obviously when you're a teenager, when you're in your early 20s, it's not as intense. But not only does it teach you about, emotional maturity, self-respect, boundaries, because once you get hurt like that, you know what you want to expect from your next relationship, what you will and will not tolerate. But, sometimes bad things can happen, and some people might have generalized views thinking that, every guy is like that because one girl had a toxic guy, or one guy thinking that every girl was like that because he had a toxic guy. And it's like, no, there's a lot of people with good intentions out there, but it's just going through that healing stage. And when you eventually overcome it, when you're at peace with yourself and you can accept and move on, then you can find the healthier relationships with those people who are actually meant to be in your life, but you had to go through that pain in order to mature and take on those relationships. The third one is when you lock in. Lock-in is just basically giving something your full time and attention, whatever it is. If it's with the gym, if it's with the business, with anything that you've been putting off for years, this is where you finally put the effort in. Nothing in life is going to come to you unless you put in the work. It's not what you wish, it's what will you work for. And you will get haters, man. A lot of people, because you guys want to be equal. When they see that you're surpassing them, plays into insecurity and jealousy, because if they see that as unattainable, they're going to want you to not reach your goals, which you think is definitely possible, and it makes them feel less than themselves. So when you lock in, you're giving it full concentration. A prime example is just the gym. The first 2 years, all you're caring about is you're bulking, you're cutting, getting your protein in. You don't want to socialize, you just want to be in the gym. Honestly, it's the best part of your day. But then when you mature, you realize that it's a part of your life as well. You've got to balance everything else. But when you lock in, you just give it 200% focus. The fourth one is a friend switching up on you. Not everyone that enters your life is there forever. Some people are just there for a period of time. Remember, everyone who comes into your life is a blessing or a lesson. And especially if you can call it betrayal or whatever, they just switch up one day, their energy's different, all of a sudden you're the bad guy in their story. You just got to realize that their time has expired. Even though it is painful, it teaches you the lesson that not everything in life is meant to last. And some people aren't there forever, they're just there for a period of time. Appreciate the memories, but realize that that person is now different. And if they're no longer valuing you, and you know the time that you guys have spent together, you got to realize everything you should do should really be in your own best interest, not to be selfish, but to really be people who value you, or people who start, you know, underappreciating you and not respecting your time. Because when it happens, it tells you that it's time to move on. It's time for that friendship to end, no matter how painful it will be. And that's something that we're all gonna have to experience. Fifth one, realizing that our parents are getting older and that we have to retire them. We all love our parents. They've done so much for us. They brought us into this world. They spent at least 18 years teaching us everything we know, how to live our lives, etc., instilling good values in us. But the sad thing is, they are getting on in age. And obviously, when you're getting older, teenager, young adult, they're also getting older too. And the last thing you want is for you to be successful one day and to not have retired your parents. Like, that should be the number one goal, I believe, for most people, if you are in that position where you can, to retire your parents. Especially with your parents getting older, their bodies are getting older, they don't have as much energy. And while we do love to see them, it makes us sad as well thinking about it. And this is not a sad video or anything, it's just where we always get this foresight. Within the next 5 years, I'm going to retire mum and dad. I'm going to set them up in a nice house with their dream cars. We've all had that thought at least once, that our parents are going to give them the world. Even if we can't, we're going to try our best to repay them back. And those are the 5. And I'm not trying to make this video doom and gloom. It really isn't. I know near the end it might be, oh, this is a bit too serious, but no, it's just relatable experiences, because a lot of us do have shared lives. These Canon events are universal, but when you look back and you see where you are now, you realize that, yeah, it was necessary for your growth and development. And as long as you stick towards your goals, you keep doing what you need to do to get to where you need to be, you're protecting your peace, and you're only letting people who do value your time, you'll be fine. I'm not perfect, none of us are perfect, but that's life. That's how we learn. We live and learn. Sonic Free reference, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow the socials down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.